Here's the facts. Jamie Rodemeyer, 14, high school student, Buffalo, New York, killed himself on Monday. In a video made last May, which I watched online, you can go watch it, he described some of the bullying he received. One wrote online, "Jamie is stupid, gay, fat, ugly, he must die." Another wrote, "I wouldn't care if you died. No one would, so just do it." On the video, he repeatedly said, "It gets better." I mean, there's a whole website out there started by Dan Savage, "It Gets Better." I went on that website the other night and I couldn't watch a video all the way through where a kid, for 8 minutes, I saw the 8 at the bottom, he said, "I'm about to video my call home to tell my parents that I'm gay. I'm going to tape it." And I just didn't want to, I did not want to watch this. It just seemed so intrusive into his life, and I thought, whoa, what is that? But anyway, he's saying it gets better, and then he told his viewers, and knowing that he's dead makes this so painful, love yourself and you're set. That was his final piece of advice to himself and to the world. Love yourself and you're set. He wasn't set. Jamie was tragically stumbling in the dark. He appeared to have no gospel light in his life. He needed Jesus, and the insulting bullies need Jesus. So you got two issues, right? You got insulters and you got weak collapsers in identity crisis. How does Jesus meet the adolescent with homosexual desires and the bullies who insult him? That's what I want. You see, I think we're going to move to a situation in this country where holding the view that homosexual practice is sin might get us in jail. Wouldn't be surprised if that came down the line in just a few years. And a lot of evangelicals are going to cave on this. They're just going to cave for all kinds of rationalizations. I think one of the things that we just have to do is when we speak in these two directions. We speak to the bully and we speak to the broken. So that's an attempt here. How does Jesus meet the adolescent with homosexual desires and the bullies? Here's the way the Bible helps us understand the adolescent with homosexual desires and bullies. And if you wonder, I worked for years with a fellow who had come out of the gay lifestyle and was at our church, and he had AIDS and he died of AIDS. And he bred into me never to use the word homosexual as a noun. Because from his standpoint, that was not his identity. This is the way he wanted me to talk, and so I tried to build this into my vocabulary. He says, don't say I am a homosexual. Say I am a Christian with new life in Christ who wrestles with these desires. That's the way he wanted me to talk, and I've tried to be consistent. Since then, I'm sure I haven't succeeded always. So here's the way I think the Bible helps us understand the adolescents and the bully. When a taste for homosexual pleasure meets the human sin nature without Christ, the outcome is a movement in either or both of two directions. A movement towards the satisfaction of homosexual practice or a movement toward a crisis of self-identity. Who am I, and is there any future for one like me? He obviously decided there wasn't. Took his life at age 14. There's just no future for somebody like me at this school or on this planet. So that's what happens when a taste for homosexual pleasure meets human sin. When distaste, and I have this distaste, and I think it's not evil. When distaste for homosexual pleasure meets human sin nature without Christ, the outcome is a movement in either or both of two directions. A movement toward the satisfaction of hate and bullying, and a movement toward finding identity and power and put-downs and the exaltation of self. And my deep conviction is that Jesus Christ is the only remedy for both of these crises. For both, he offers himself as the only remedy for the guilt of their sin nature and its fruit. If they'll receive him, his death covers it, and we're free from condemnation. God accepts us and counts us as righteous in Christ. So when I say this taste and this distaste meet sin, what can solve that? Bad things are going to happen when these tastes, these either broken or not broken tastes, meet sin. And Jesus is the only one. He's the only one who has the solution to that sin nature and our guilt there. Second, for both, he offers a new identity in Christ. Not mainly heterosexual or homosexual, but new creation in Christ, Son of God, heir of all things, on the way to perfect wholeness. What a miracle if we could fold into our churches a 14-year-old kid who is manifestly effeminate, and everybody suspects, no, this is not right, and to build into him your identity is in Christ, and you're on your way to wholeness, whether it takes eternity to meet it, whether it takes your life to meet it in eternity. That would be a miracle for that to happen. Third, for both, Jesus offers himself as a superior pleasure and satisfaction, better than sinful sexual practice, better than the ego trip of insulting and bullying. So I'm arguing that the contentment we were talking about is the remedy for both the brokenness of experiencing this weakness and the bullying of loving this put-down pleasure that I get out of insulting you. The pleasure going towards homosexual practice here, the pleasure of going towards bullying and insulting over here is remedied here. It's better. Jesus is better. Fourth, for the adolescent with homosexual desires, neither the weakness of homosexual inclinations from within nor the torment of insults from without will be able to destroy the deep-rooted contentment that Christ alone can be for the human soul. I don't know any other way to offer a help for him than this. His solution was, and he got it from Lady Gaga, was love yourself and you'll be set. How many millions of people are being delivered that message and struggling? Love myself, love myself, love myself. It's not the remedy. It's not the remedy. It is a false remedy. For the hateful, insulting bully, the seductive lure of self-examination, self-exaltation through put-downs and the pleasures of hurting what you despise will be severed by the superior power of the presence of Jesus, whose greatness lies mainly in his humble willingness to suffer for sinners, not condemn them. The reason I put it like that is because Jesus, if you savor Jesus, and Jesus is a humble sufferer, then you won't be able to delight in putting others down. So the remedy for the despair of Jamie Rodemeyer and the hate of his accusers, and for us, is the same. My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. I've learned to be content with weaknesses from within, with insults from without.